Carlos Ulberg gets the job done quick, early. We called it left hook Larry. We said this dude has a phenomenal jab. Turn it on over to that check hook. Ihor brought out the knee pads. And you could tell he was trying to grapple up this fight, and he was trying to muddy up some of Carlos Ulberg's plan to victory, his path to victory. And Ulberg shut it down before he could get started. So it was beautiful, and I don't have a lot to say on this other than Ulberg looks like a world beater currently, but what's another common thread? He's not really fighting a lot of grapplers. And when he fought a dude who could grapple, he lost, and that was Kennedy and Chekwu, right? So what are we making of Carlos Ulberg, man? This phenomenon where on the feet, looking like a legitimate champion right here, like he could just destroy everybody in his path with this death touch power. But we know light heavyweight, you're gonna get put on your back eventually. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems to be the city kickboxing camp does a very good a very good job of game planning, selecting the right opponent, and getting the fight to where it's going to be most beneficial for their team. That being said, Derek, you said it, man. The light heavyweight division is stacked with wrestlers and going to give Carlos Ulberg a lot of problems. So go get a little more trained out there. You got Volk, you got a lot of wrestlers, but to see him go with somebody like Fight Ready, Henry Cejudo, really change a camp, really develop those skills. That'll be the next evolution of the Carlos Ulberg. Not saying he's going to do that. This dude seems like he's going to stay loyal to that gym as most of those same fighters do. But even as the pinnacle of that fight camp, Israel Adesanya, I wouldn't say his grappling has grown leaps and bounds from sticking to one camp. It has gotten more defined, more polished, and more of his kind of style of grappling. But when you run into dudes that have been doing it, like you said, man, Hamzat, Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns, even there's a lot of dudes out there that have been wrestling for so long that they know you have a power in your left hand. Best way to shut it down, duck under, shoot for the double, shoot for a single, whatever the case is, put you on your back, all the power is gone. Seems to be a big flaw in Carlos Ulberg's game. Let's see if somebody can either exploit it or he can shut it down and prove that he has covered that flaw. Do you think he's actually able to do that in the city kickboxing camp, Derek?
I think it's possible. I think it's definitely possible. I will say we're gonna have to switch around a couple of those names, right? Because you just mentioned off a couple welterweight killers. There's still some killers in light heavyweight, right? You got Jan Blachowicz, Anthony Smith, Ryan Spann, Magomed Ankalaev, Nikita Krylov, Paul Craig. I mean, Paul Craig going down to middleweight, but you still have wrestlers and grapplers, and same thing, people will utilize that strategy. I think that city kickboxing, man, just because they're glorified with strikers doesn't mean that they can't develop some type of solid game plan around the grappling. I mean, Israel Adesanya had to work that. He definitely had to work that multiple times in his championship defenses, right? The Marvin Vettori fights, things of that nature, Derek Brunson, all that, right? So I think he can still get it done in city kickboxing. I don't think that you should necessarily leave just because, oh, well, there's wrestlers in the division, I should go somewhere else, right? They clearly have a good thing going. I think Carlos Ulberg is a really good prospect in this division. We just need to see more. And it's tough to say we need to see more when you come off of 3 straight first round knockouts. But I'd like to see him against like an Alonzo Menafield or something like that. You know what I mean? And see what can you do against the big boys that also got the crazy crackback power and could take you down. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, unless you got anything else on this one, minus 210 TKO was chalky, but Ulberg got it done, man. We called it. We called that one on the head right there.